Very good evening once again, and a warm welcome to RwandaTV News with me, Ethan Tashobia. Now, let's start it off from Continental Free Trade Area. This Saturday, President Paul Kagame participated in the 13th extraordinary session of the Assembly of the African Union. This session was dedicated to finalizing the instruments of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, ahead of the start of trading on January 1st, 2021.
Kagame has noted that the political will of the African heads of state and government will be key in the implementation and the sustainability of the African Continental Free Trade Area. The head of state made the remarks at the 13th Extraordinary African Union Summit, which kicked off this Saturday morning, whose main focus was to look into finalizing the instruments of the AfCFTA so that the trading under the agreement may commence on January 1st next year.
Less than 3 years after it was signed in Kigali, we are ready for the start of trading on January 1st. I wish to congratulate the African Ministers of Trade, the African Union Commission, and the new AfCFTA Secretariat for successfully overseeing the technical negotiations. The remaining negotiations should be completed as soon as possible in order to maximize the benefits of higher trade volumes for all of us. The African Continental Free Trade Area will always be associated with the name of President Mamadou Issoufou of Niger, who has led this process on behalf of the Assembly. Mr. President, I record my thanks for your outstanding contributions. Of course, this is a collective achievement which could not have happened without the strong support of the African heads of state and government, who have remained steadfast throughout the journey. This level of commitment will continue to be necessary to sustain the agreement and make it successful.
The President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, who is also the current African Union Chair, Musa Faki Mahamat, the Chairperson of the AU Commission, as well as Wamkela Mene, the Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, all reiterated the importance of the positive steps taken towards the operationalization of the historic African Continental Free Trade Area.
The commencement of trading under the AfCFTA on the 1st of January 2021 is one of the most significant milestones in the continental integration project. It will be the clearest affirmation yet that Africa is determined to take charge of its own destiny and that its success and development is fundamentally tied to harnessing the potential and energies of her citizens. Our treaty will boost intra-African trade. It will promote industrialization and competitiveness and contribute to job creation, and it will unleash regional value chains that will facilitate Africa's meaningful integration into the global economy. The treaty will also improve the prospects of Africa as an attractive investment destination.
On his part, President Paul Kagame also noted that the AfCFTA will be key in securing a prosperous future for Africa and her people.
The Continental Free Trade Area is the lifeblood of our continent's integration and prosperity. It will also be the primary portal through which Africa engages with its partners around the world on trade and investment. We must therefore work together continuously to protect and strengthen this pact for the sake of the generations that follow us.
The Africa Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, was signed by African leaders on March 21, 2018 in Kigali. The AfCFTA agreement was expected to come into force on July 1, 2020, but the deadline was pushed due to COVID-19 pandemic, which abruptly stalled all negotiations.
Moving on, 48 families that have been staying in Kangondo and Chibiraro slums, places considered high-risk zones for livelihoods, have now been resettled in the newly rebuilt Busanza estates. Families that have been resettled at Busanza estates told RBA that the newly acquired housing gives them hope for good retirement, safety and improved living standards in general. According to Shaka Anastasia, the Minister of Local Government, the relocation exercise is ongoing and is going well, and more households are expected to move to the newly completed housing estates in the near future. The estate located in Chichichiro district has 42 housing units so far, but the construction works continues, where 1,000 houses will be available when the entire project is complete. The Ministry of Health says the increasing number of hospitals and health-related facilities is one of the major ways to improve the service delivery in the sector. Residents are now happy that the construction of the Nyeri Hospital was completed and the facility has been fully operational from the beginning of this month. Sam Kalisa has more.
The first phase of the Nyeri District Hospital, which has 120 beds, is worth more than 13 billion Rwandan francs including equipment. Constructing the facility began in 2018 in a modern way, and it is equipped with state-of-the-art equipment that residents praise to have come in handy. I arrived here at 7 o'clock. They led me to the reception and helped me. And then I met the doctor who examined the baby I brought here. It was really tiresome, especially for people living far from the city without a nearby hospital, which required us to travel often for treatment. The fact that the hospital is now near will help us get services closer. They welcomed me, examined me, took blood pressure, measured weight, fever and so on. We are happy for such a hospital, especially since that we would go to hospital for treatment, but there were so many people. But this hospital came in as a solution. It's big enough and has doctors, which will help us get better services in this area that had no district hospital. The Director General of Nyeri District Hospital, Dr. Abimana Deborah, says the reason for the construction is to increase the capacity of the district in treatment of various diseases.
Zaba indwara zo mu mubiri, haba indwara zivurwa habayeho kubagwa.
We will treat mental illness, surgical treatments, and increase the number of maternal and child health services in partnership with the existing Muhima Hospital. The hospital will provide services to more than 170,000 people from our district health centers and from other districts as well. Dr. Deborah Abimana also says that the goal is to provide better services to patients with early care.
Ikintu rero tugamije ahangaha kinini cyane no gukomereza muri uwo murongo wo gutanga service nziza yo ku rwego rwo hejuru.
Our goal is to provide high-quality service. When a person is treated early, it prevents him or her from getting sicker or having other side effects. Because he or she is near and there is advanced medication, the citizen will be treated well and treated early, so the consequences that will result from their illness will be eliminated. Nyeri District Hospital adds to Muhima Hospital, which as well belongs to Nyeri District. The second phase of the construction of Nyeri District Hospital is expected to be completed with 180 beds, which is an additional part of the completed 120-bed hospital. There are currently 36 district hospitals built in 30 districts of Rwanda. The Ministry of Health says the increase in the number of hospitals and other related health service centers is one of the key factors in improving service delivery, according to the Minister of Health, Dr. Nyeri.
Kongereyemo urwego rwa poste de santé kugira ngo twegere ababyeyi aho bari mu midugudu yabo.
We added on health centers so that we can reach out to parents in their villages and be able to provide them with services they deserve. We added other services like examining them for various illnesses. On the other hand, there was no ultrasound for the nurses to examine pregnant mothers and show them the state of their fetus. We are gradually increasing the number of mothers who are diagnosed early and treating other diseases including malaria, HIV, hepatitis, gonorrhea and other diseases so that people can easily know the state of their lives.
N'izindi ndwara dushobora gusuzuma kugira ngo abone avuga ati wa mugani reka ngereyo menye niba nta kibazo mfite cy'ubuzima.
The Ministry of Health Action Plan for 2020-2024 shows that the public satisfaction with the delivery of health services should range from the current 80% rate to over 85% by 2024. Sam Kalisa, Rwanda Television News.
Thank you, Sam, for that report. This Saturday, Kofi Francophonie du Cinéma, the Francophonie Cinema Award Initiative, held a gala evening at the newly launched Canal Olympia in Kigali to announce the 7th edition, which will be held in Rwanda next year. The government of Rwanda and the Francophonie Cinema representatives also signed an MOU to formalize the holding of next year's edition in Kigali. During the event, two Rwandans, Isabel Kabano, an actress, and Joel Karekezi, a movie director, received trophies in honor of their career in film and creative industry. My colleague Eddie Sabiti attended the event and spoke to the award recipients.
I can say a beautiful moment in my career to win such a big award here in Rwanda. It's my home, and for cinema, it proves that Rwandese, they are able to make a wonderful film. So for me, it's really an honor to receive this award. Yeah, the industry need support from all sides. Public, we need you. You have to really start watching Rwandese movies. Private sector, it's time for you to invest in the film industry. It's a business, so you can invest and make money out of cinema. You can employ so many people in making movies. So to the government, I'm very happy that now we have institutions that are in charge of cinema, and we are hoping soon that there will be a film fund to keep supporting Rwandese cinema, because we have so many stories, and we deserve to keep making those stories. We Rwandan, because if you don't tell our story, foreigners will come and tell our story, and then it will be their point of view, not Rwandese point of view.
I'm very, very proud of me, of my country, and of the cinema in Rwanda.
Brilliant. Congratulations to the award recipients. Moving on, the Rwanda National Police is urging residents living upcountry who have vehicles to trust the quality of automobile inspection centers established in provinces in order to reduce the number of people who come to Kigali for vehicle inspection services. Sam Kalisa continues.
On the 20th of November, the Rwanda National Police officially opened 3 vehicle inspection centers in Huye, Musanze and Ramagana districts. Each center has 2 checkpoints with the capacity of inspecting 200 vehicles per day. These centers were established to facilitate the already existing inspection center in Kigali. Some of those who used to come to Kigali to inspect their vehicles say that the established inspection centers made it easier, considering the time they spent waiting for their vehicles to be inspected. You could spend many days in Kigali, even a week waiting for inspection. But now, it was made easier, and we're happy with it. Nonetheless, at the headquarters in Kigali, there are still people from different provinces who come to inspect their vehicles in Kigali. They say that car service and garages from their respective provinces is still a problem, which is why they decide to travel to Kigali for service and inspection. Given the current situation in Gicumbi, we choose to come for inspection in Kigali. I came from Muhanga because there are no big garages in provinces. Sometimes we want spare parts and we can't find them, so we choose to come to Kigali. Rwanda National Police spokesperson CP John Bosco Kabera is urging vehicle owners in provinces to make use of available inspection centers. The number of vehicles in the country is high, which is why the increased number of vehicle inspection centers was needed to reduce the number of vehicles in Kigali so that we can provide better services. Please, we assure you that those inspection centers are of the same quality as the one in Kigali, and the certificates that are issued are trusted by our police. Another thing we are following up is that garages are good places for investors to look for opportunities. From the 21st of November to the 3rd of December, the Rwanda National Police Traffic Inspection Department received 3,003 vehicles in Kigali, which means at least 273 vehicles were inspected per day. In the same period, Musanze branch received 868 vehicles and 694 vehicles has been inspected in Huye district, whereas 461 vehicles have been inspected in Rwamagana.
Well, that report brings us to the end of tonight's edition. Many thanks for joining us here on RwandaTV News. My name is Ethan Tashobi. On behalf of the entire news team, many thanks for joining us indeed. Until next time, bye for now.